Hey howdy hey everyone, Josh from Amiibo here with my brand new Nintendo Switch, ready to walk you through the digital library function of Skylanders Imaginators. This is what allows you to play the game without a USB portal. All your scanned Skylanders will be stored here ready for you to access at any time, which makes it super convenient. Instead of a portal, you scan your characters into the game with either the right-sided Joy-Con, which has an NFC touchpoint built into it, or with the Switch Pro controller, which is also NFC enabled. You'll need to hold it there for a few seconds while the game registers it.
Your sword is yours!
Now, interestingly, that single scan isn't enough to register the figure. You've then got to go into the Skylanders selection screen, hover over that character, and then scan it again. This will register the Skylander to your game, and now you can select them whenever you want. Now if you've got a character from another version of the game, like my chain reaction here that I've used in the Wii U version, you won't want to lose all that progress. Luckily, you won't. That character will scan into the game just like any other, and once you've registered them, they'll raise your Imaginator level cap and unlock their secret technique just like any other sensei.
Super studs like me, all they have to do is train with the chain! And if you have a swashbuckler, I'll cut him a deal on a sweet secret technique.
The reverse is true as well. I have my Kingpin from the beginning of the game here. But since your figure isn't connected to the game at all times, their progress isn't saved to the figure automatically. But don't worry, our old friend WENDEL from the 3DS versions of the series has returned, and will perform the same function as he did there. He'll allow you to save your character's progress back onto the figure. You can then scan that figure into the Wii U version, and not only will they unlock new items like a newly scanned sensei would, but they will also retain all their progression. I then proceeded to level him up a little and unlock some new abilities in the Wii U version to see if they would transfer back. And the results are interesting. When I scanned him into the Switch version, he appeared just as he was in that version of the game before I carried him over to Wii U. If you want those upgrades to show up, you'll need to clear the figure from your digital library first, and then scan the figure again. They'll be summoned in with all their upgrades intact.
Frosty!
A chain is only as strong as its weakest stat point.
Now when it comes to the creation crystals, things get really interesting. You can bring over any of your existing Imaginators from other versions of the game, and pretty much everything will be intact. It'll even unlock any items they're wearing that you haven't unlocked in this version of the game. Imaginator names are erased when you bring them to a new collection though, so you need to remind them who they are. Once you've registered an Imaginator to your collection, it'll unlock the Imaginator parts that are unlocked by creating an Imaginator of that element, so you don't need to buy another set of crystals to unlock those parts. But what happens if you try to bring a Switch Imaginator into the Wii U version? I quickly went through the process of creating a BOWSLINGER on the crystal that came with the Switch version, but I didn't register them to my library, nor did I save them to the crystal. I then loaded the crystal up on the Wii U version, and it treated it like a brand new crystal. Then when I took it back to the Switch version, it still summoned Tiki Torture.
Something's burning! Must be my arrows!
I went to save them to the crystal, but the first time I tried this, it actually crashed the game. They know I'm trying to break things. The second time it went through fine, and it saved them to the crystal. Now when I used that crystal on the Wii U version, it summoned Tiki Torture as expected, just without his name. So if you scan a crystal into the Switch version first, you can then use that same crystal to create a different Imaginator in a different version of the game. However, saving your Switch character to that crystal will then wipe any other character from it. Okay, so I had to stop this video from going live just at the last second because I realized an awesome trick you can do with blank creation crystals in the Switch version, which will allow you to test out each class with one crystal. So first, scan your blank crystal and create whatever you want. Now normally this would lock your crystal to that class, but since the Switch version doesn't write anything to the crystal that was scanned, you can go into your library and delete the record of the Imaginator. Then you can scan the crystal and try a new class. Keep in mind that this has to be a blank crystal. Scanning a used one will just summon the character saved on it each time. So that's all for now. I hope that video was useful for you. I'm going to have more Switch videos coming, so make sure you subscribe if you don't want to miss those. Thanks for watching.
Bazooker Imaginators, are you ready to create a bazooka? Choosing a battle class is a final decision.